Hi guys, hello everyone, this is Panda speaking. I'm Panda, and if it is your first time here, you're so welcome. Please subscribe to my YouTube page. Today I'm back with another episode of Let's Talk About It. So today I have a friend who sent me a story on my WhatsApp status, and I went through the story, so I'm going to be telling you about the story. It's so exciting, but you guys, I'm not getting your topics, like your stories. Please send me your stories. I don't know. And if you want to send them on my WhatsApp, I'm going to send you my WhatsApp number. You inbox me. You can send me a message on my YouTube account such that I can inbox you. So let's talk about it. Now the story was like this. We have two boys in the story. You're going to tell us what to do after. We have two people in this story, two main characters. We have the first one is, we're going to name him Wilson, and another one Gerald. So these two boys were best friends in their high school. Best friends. You know best friends, how best friends can be. For me, I had my best friend in secondary. We used to fight a lot. Okay, you can be like, you can fight, you can quarrel, you can, But again, friendship is friendship. You can stay friends. Then Wilson and Gerald were best friends in their A level. They were in senior 5. Now, Wilson had a quarrel with Gerald. The usual quarrels, in the dormitory. They were fighting about something, and they quarreled and quarreled. They raised their voices, you understand? Then after, Wilson slapped Gerald. When he slapped him, Gerald was like, man, no way. We quarrel every day, but I can't lay my fingers on you, and how can you beat me? So you know what happened next? Gerald started fighting with Wilson. When they fought, Wilson became unconscious. There are those people, yeah? Their attitude, I don't know. For me, I've never fainted, by the way. I thank God for that. But when Gerald beat Wilson collapsed. He went unconscious. So when he went unconscious, everybody was like, Gerald, what have you done? That pressure. Gerald was also like, how did it happen? This boy has never collapsed. How can... Okay, when everybody panicked, they carried Wilson to the sick bay. For us at schools, we have sick bays where they first take you for first aid. Then if the issue grows bigger and bigger, they take you to the hospital. So when they carried Wilson to the hospital, to the sick bay, everybody was like, Gerald, what have you done? You're dead. What? Gerald was also on pressure, but guys can make themselves be like, I'm not scared. You understand? Now, Gerald thought the issue was just simple. The guy is going to get up and things are done. But when they went to the sick bay, the matron was like, guys, I can't handle this guy. He's badly off. Can you imagine? Badly off. So what they did, they carried Wilson to the hospital. When they took Wilson to the hospital, they checked Wilson. They did everything. Guys, can you imagine? Wilson died. So when Wilson died, Gerald was taken to police. When Gerald was taken to police, the next step was to court. The next step was to get imprisoned. They imprisoned Gerald. Gerald went to court. Went to jail at that young age. When he went to jail, and can you imagine? Parents were crying. His parents. They were so disappointed in him. They were like, seriously, we sent you to school. How can you fight with a boy? To make matters worse, you even killed the boy. Gerald regretted every single moment. Every single word he said to him. Gerald regretted. Gerald Oh my God. You know that situation. I don't know whether you know it because most of you have never went through it. But it is the worst. Gerald wanted to even turn back time and undo everything he did. But it wasn't possible. And it cannot be possible. Guys, Gerald was imprisoned and was sentenced to life imprisonment. Now, when Gerald was imprisoned, his family members were so mad at him. Like, how can you do that? Seriously, you're a criminal. How can you? At that age, by then, by the way, Gerald had something like 18 years. Huh? He was 18 years old. So when he went to jail, his family was against him. And Wilson was dead. Now Gerald stayed in prison for 40 years. 40 years. 40 plus 18, you guys know the calculation. 40 years. After 40 years, Gerald behaved well. He behaved very well in the prison. You know, in prison, when you behave well, they can deduct. When the years you had to spend there, they can forgive you some years, you understand? Gerald behaved very well. He was a very good person in jail. So what they did, they gave him only 40 years. Then after the 40 years, they forgave Gerald. Welcome back. Okay, this is my brother's Kadota. She's in P. You are in P what? P2.
P1.
She's in P1. Tell them to subscribe. Tell them please subscribe.
Please subscribe.
She's from school right now. Okay, you can go. You can go and put your bag. Okay, guys. As I was telling you. Now, the best part in this story is here. Gerald came back to the village, to his hometown. But when he reached his hometown, everybody looked at him like, I don't know. People in the village used to use him, to look at him as an example, a bad example. They would be like, when they are advising their children, they would be like, do this and do this and do this, and please never be like Gerald. Understand? That person like that. Gerald came back home to his hometown, but people weren't that excited to see him. They used to just look at him like a criminal, of course. They used to be like, the criminal is back. How? Like that. You understand? Gerald came back. A week passed. The second week passed. Now, the mom was like, those mothers, respect them properly when you still have them, because some people don't have them, but they wish to have them. So please, if you have that person, don't take her for granted. Okay, now, when Gerald came back, can you imagine Gerald came back, the mother was like, you know what, I have my land in Kabale. People in Uganda know, Kampala, Uganda. There is that northern part of Uganda. I don't know if it's north or south. I don't know the direction. You can tell me in the comment section. You know, I don't move a lot. That part, she told him, I have land in that part. So I want you to go. There is a house in that land. I built a house in that land. So I want you to go and live in that land such that they can't take it. You know, land wars, they can take your land if you like. You take a lot of time without minding about it. You understand, Ugandans? So when this guy went, Gerald went to the land. When he reached the land, people in that village were like, we're so happy to see you, thank you for coming. But it's like, you're not the land owner, because there is a man who came up last week and said he's the owner of this land. So Gerald had to call the mom and was like, Mom, were you here last week? Because they're saying the land owner came when? Last week. So the mother was like, I didn't. Who is that person? But you stay there. I know if he's the true land owner, he will come up and and do what? And chase you out of the land. So Gerald waited and waited. 1 week became into 2 weeks. 2 weeks became 3 weeks. 3 weeks became a month. After a full month, the landowner everybody in the village was talking about came. Now, when this landowner came, can you guys imagine that the rich landowner came out to be Wilson? The past Wilson we thought he died. The Wilson they imprisoned Gerald for. Can you imagine? Now the question is, if you were in Gerald's feet, if you were Gerald at that point, what would you have done? It is a very sad story at a point, because I was like, me. Now if it is me and I spend more than even 30 years, like 40 years in jail for nothing, when even the person is alive. Seriously. Okay, this is so questioning, but you can drop your answer in the comment section, and if you want to follow up for the next episode, please subscribe.